Hello, good morning. You are watching Victory Time with me, Victory Kechuku, as your host. A warm welcome to all my viewers all over the world, wherever you are watching me from. I would like us to appreciate God for the gift of life before I go into the topic I have for us today, because we all know that being alive is not one of those things. It's not because we are superhuman. It's not because we know what to do. It's all by the mercy of God. So each and every day we wake up, we see a brand new day. We should appreciate Him for the gift of life. I will also encourage you to share this my video, share it on your personal page, on a group page where you belong to, so that people will be blessed as well. Remember, Victory Time is the time I bring teachings that will help us live victoriously in our everyday life, in also all those aspects of our life where we feel defeated. My teachings will help you to have victory. The topic I have for us today is titled Invest in Your Personality, Part 2. I've actually done the Part 1. Today I'll be doing the Part 2. You really need to invest in your personality as a person. You are not supposed to be stagnant. You're not supposed to be at the position where you have been before. You're supposed to make a move. There should be a change in your life and in your destiny. All right, firstly, I would like to explain the meaning of personality. Personality simply means an individual differences in characteristics, patterns of thinking, feeling, and behavior. So there should be a difference in your personality. You shouldn't be the way you used to be 5 years ago or 10 years ago. There should actually be a good difference. It is also the characteristics, patterns of thought, the way you think, feelings, the way you feel, and behavior, the way you behave, the way you act, that make a person unique. As an individual, whether man or woman, you need to invest on yourself to become a better person than who you are presently. Besides, we all know that life is full of change. The only constant thing in life is change. So you should change in the way you have been before. You need to do what is called personal development for life improvement. Your life needs to improve from the stage of life where it is presently. That is to say, you need to develop on your personality in order for your life to improve for the better. So simply put, personal development simply means or involves a progressive change from one stage of life to another. It is also a growth process. You need to desire it first before you start to work it out. It is called personal because it has to do with you. Nobody will impose it on you. Nobody will force it on you. You need to do it for yourself. Learning and teaching are arts which have the power to change a person. Learning and teaching, so you need to involve yourself in learning and teaching so that you improve. Do you know, recently there's something I found out about the brain. They said if you don't involve the brain, it really affects the brain, that the brain will be doing something else that will be detriment to the system of your body. So you really need to engage engage your brain, not engage your brain the negative aspect of thinking negative thought. Most people think that thinking is actually good, is actually a way of engaging your brain for for productive things. Not thinking negatively, it will really not help you. Instead, it will make you to fall sick. All right, let's go to part 2 of invest in your personality. All right, the 3 areas of personal development, that is the areas where you need to invest in yourself personally, are areas which you need to work on your personality. You need to work on yourself. It might be the way you do things that has not been good even for you as an individual. You should really work on that. All right, number 1 point I put here on the areas where you need to develop your personality. One is, I call it spiritual self-development. I think one should evaluate what growth and changes you want to make in this vital area. It's really, really vital as a child of God. The way you pray, maybe you've been praying 5 minutes, you first of all try to increase by praying 10 minutes, and then you carry on. You can't just say, okay, I want to move from praying 5 minutes to 30 minutes. No, you'll be discouraged because you find that you battle, you cannot achieve it. but you need to work on yourself and said, okay, I'll start praying from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. You work on yourself, how you study your Bible, how is your relationship with God, how is your relationship with your neighbors, even before your neighbors, your immediate family and all that. How is your spiritual stand? Are you up today or down tomorrow? You really need to be sure that you work on that aspect. Don't just be a casual Christian. Don't just be a casual child of God, just doing things the way you want. You really need to make sure that you're doing things the way God wants them to be, the way it has been outlined for us at the Bible. The principles that are laid down in the Bible, will follow them. That is point number 1 on the 3 areas of personal development that you need to invest in your personality. I said number 1, I call it spiritual self-development. Number 2 is physical self-development. People see you before they hear you, so you need to take care of yourself. How do you dress? People see you before they hear you. And there's another saying that said, the way you dress determines the way you will be addressed. How do you dress? Do you dress shabbily or you dress smartly? You know, how do you talk? Communication is a vital area. Most times you might know what to say, but you don't know how to say it. That's the problem. You might know what to say, you don't know how to present it. Or what you want to say is the right thing, but you to bring problem. So these are the things. Communication is a skill that one needs to master. How to say something, how to comport yourself when you're saying it. In a situation of crisis, how do I present this thing I want to say? Let's say in a relationship, for example, between a husband and a wife, you are having a quarrel with your wife or with your husband. You want to say the right thing, but how do you say it? The way you present it will determine how the next person will take it. So these are the ways. Physically, you need to work on yourself, all these things. How do I present myself? Do you have self-confidence or you're always shying away? You need to have confidence. You need to be sure of yourself, no matter what is happening, no matter the kind of clothes you're wearing. You don't even need to wear expensive clothes for you to be acceptable, for you to be presentable. It all has to do with how you carry yourself, how you see yourself. That is point number 2. You need to work on your physical appearance. I say physical self-development. People see you before they hear you. How do you present yourself? Your communication skill, you need to work on it. Point number 3 is mental self-development. The last few decades of the 20th century are very, very demanding. That is the century where we are right now. It's very, very demanding. There is the constant growth and development of technology, learning. So you need to follow suit. Okay, let's say so many years ago, you know, there's this typewriter that is being used to type things that makes noise. You know, you type, it moves like this, you move the machine, bam, you start. If you're still using that, you are dated, you don't even know what is happening. You see, that's the same with brain. Some people's brain are still at that stage of that typewriter. Now, you don't even say the desktop. Now there is laptop, there is even palm top. You know, even your cell phone, there are keyboards to make things faster. So you should make sure that your brain is advanced as well, so that your brain will follow suit with what is happening around. So you don't need to make sure that your brain, you know, is backward. Just like I said earlier on when I was explaining the topic. There's something I discovered recently, you know, when I was doing research. I do a lot of research for my broadcast. I came to the realization that when you don't engage your brain positively, it starts doing something that will be to the detriment of your system, because you're not engaging your brain positively. The brain is not only there for fancy, it is there to be used by you, that God has given you that brain. So you need to involve your brain. That, remember, I'm talking about mental ability. Yes, you need to make sure you engage yourself in learning. Learn. Most time when you talk to people about learning, they say they don't have money to pay school fees. The advance of technology has really come to make things easier. Now you can even get a certificate online free of charge. There are a whole lot of colleges, universities that are doing online courses in a way of advertising their institution free of charge for people. This can help you to engage your brain. Try to learn something. Try to get a certificate. A whole lot of certificates is being given online right now. Engage yourself. They are free of charge. Don't say I don't have money. You need to help yourself, because when you don't improve on yourself, the only thing that moving is your age, and the age does not wait for you. Before you know it, 2021 is finished, we're entering 2022, and another year will be added to your age. But if you do something, you will improve on yourself and help yourself, and as your age is moving, you yourself, you're moving, you are advancing. All right. Also, with technology advancement, you need to be up to date and not be outdated. I think I've explained this. Make sure, please, you up to date. You are not outdated. so that you will follow the trend of what is happening. All right, with all these that I've mentioned about, the 3 areas that you need to help yourself, I say first of all is spiritual self-development, number 2 physical self-development, and 3 mental self-development. With all this, you really need discipline. You need to discipline yourself for all this to happen, because most of the time we'll find out that we want to do something, but if you've not disciplined yourself to do those things, you'll find out that you will not be doing them. You keep doing what is called procrastinating. You will say, okay, I'll do it, but you're not doing it. So you really need to discipline yourself to do whatever you need to do for yourself. All right, discipline here simply means the practice of training people. That's the meaning, but I put in bracket my own emphasis, yourself, to obey rules or code of behavior. So it's the act of training people. So you need to train yourself as individual, as a person, that I will do this. I will increase the way I read my Bible. Maybe let's say you read 1 chapter a day. Say, okay, I will increase it to reading 5 chapters. I pray for 5 minutes. I want to increase it from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. All those things. The way you study your Bible, the way you attend services. Maybe you are the kind of Christian that attends church services only Sunday. Now you will increase by attending weekly activities, to help yourself. These are the things, but you really need to discipline yourself to do this. All right, another point is motivation. Motivation. Remember the point I mentioned? The physical development, mental, and spiritual. All these things need discipline. First of all, you need to discipline yourself. Secondly, you need to motivate yourself to do them. Another key aspect is motivation. Motivation simply means an instigation to action. You need to be instigated to start that thing that you have decided to do for yourself. An instigation to action, it may either be internal or external force. You know why I'm laughing? I like it. Internal, that is you doing it for yourself, or external, somebody, compelling you to do that. True motivation comes from a kind of total satisfaction of the whole being, spirit, soul, and body. You need to be motivated to do something by yourself, personally. Remember, we're saying invest in your personality, and personality has a lot to do with you as a person. So you really need to help yourself. Nobody will do that for you. True motivation comes from within, your inside, spirit, soul, and body. Enthusiasm is an outward expression of inner morale and provide fuel for ongoing motivation. So you need to be enthusiastic about whatever you think you need to do for yourself. You need to be highly enthusiastic. You don't need to have any form of discouragement. I put here methods of motivation. 1, you create a need. I need to change on my mental ability. I need to change physically. Thank you so much, man of God, Pastor George, for watching. God bless you, sir. All right, the second one, create a desire to accomplish. I need to accomplish this. I need to do this. I need to do this. You need to create it. I need to, I need to work on myself, how I read books. Some people don't read books. They don't. That saying, they said when to hide something, hide it. When you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. Please, we need to change this. We that are people of color right now, we're not blacks, we're not white, but we are people of color. Please, you need to change it by disciplining yourself to read. There are more spare time that you think you are watching soapies. You're actually wasting them if you can invest on that. Do you know what I do myself? I'm a very, 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 very busy person, but I make sure I read. Any spare time, maybe I'm lying down on the couch, I actually pick up a book to read. I make sure I read. I discipline myself instead of wasting wasting that time. You invest it. When you read a book, when you study the Bible, when you do something that will help you personally, you actually invest in it. But investing that time. But if not, you are actually wasting it. In one of my teachings, when I was teaching in a leadership school that is owned by my husband, by the grace of God, I co-lecture with him. I was telling the students, about this issue of you are watching the soapies and they are getting paid. You're watching people to get paid. So why don't you then do something productive that will help to invest in your life personally instead of watching for others to get paid? All right, there are 4 ways of motivating a man. 4 ways that you need to motivate yourself. I put them here. Number 1 is external influence. That is when you are being impelled to act. That is external influence. external motivation. When somebody motivates you externally, talking to you through motivational speech or encouraging you, or does something that impels you to act on that your desire, to act on you working on yourself. Then the second one is internal motivation. This one is by yourself. It has to do with you. Nobody will do it for you. You have to do it yourself. So you need to motivate yourself internally. Remember, I think I mentioned it earlier on when I said it has to do with spirit, soul, and body. This is a total well-being, the whole being of you as a person. You need to motivate yourself to change. Do you know one thing about life? Most time when you're waiting for people to motivate you, they will not actually do that, because naturally humans are selfish beings. Everybody's selfish. Some people that you feel you want them to motivate you, it might actually be that they are jealous of you. They want to be better than you. So you need to sit up and do that which you need to do that will effect change in your life and your personality. Time is running fast. Okay, I'll just mention the two remaining ways of motivation. I said the first one is external, the second one is internal, the third one is introjected motivation, the fourth one is identified motivation. Time is really fast. I have to move. All right, let's proceed. I hope we're getting inspired this morning. You really need to invest in your personality. There are some people that when they move into an environment, the aura they carry, all those things, they're not magical. They worked on themselves. The way they dress, the way they talk, the way you address people, the way you answer people, they all matter. The way you respond to people, it matters a lot. You need to respect people. You need to talk to them nicely. You need to make sure that people feel comfortable around you. All right. I wrote here how to enhance your personal development skills. That is, how do you keep yourself in investing your personality? How do you help yourself in investing your personality, or the things you need to do to help yourself? Number one, I put here, I said overcome your fears. There are a whole lot of fears that people have. Some people, they have fear of talking to the crowd. You need to overcome that. You find out that most of the time when you talk to people, that fear will just vanish. Still using that example of the leadership school that I and my husband lecturing presently. We made it that the opening prayer, we designate people. We told the class captain to make sure that different people lead every day, to make everybody get involved. There's this lady, after opening prayer, she said for the first time that this is the first time she's doing something like that. She's so afraid of the crowd, how to speak English and all that. But she found out that after doing it, she felt elevated and she felt so wonderful that she could do it. So these are the way. There are so many ways that you need to overcome your fears. 2, improve on your reading skill. How do you do that? By reading productive literature. Not reading newspapers every day. You read literature, you read Christian book, you read educational book, social book, encyclopedia, research book, things that will help you, that will make you gain more knowledge than you need to know. Number 3, learn something new. You need to learn something new. Just like I said, you take advantage of social media. Most people are just doing nonsense in social media. I used to tell people I do a whole lot of things. I read, I learn. Even, do you know that presently there how to sew, how to knit? That is learning something new, something that is off from all the things that you know before. All right, ask yourself for feedback. You can ask yourself, how did I improve this? Do you know, it was recently I was telling my husband I learned how to make braids like this. I used to make on my boys. But I said when I was in university, when there was need for that, then we need to make for my friends and all that. I couldn't learn that, but now I learned it. So these are a lot of people, they learn like myself. Also, I learned how to make confectionaries on the internet, how to bake and all that. Learn something new to help yourself. Observe others and try to know others. Get into networking. Try to know people. Try to observe others, how they do things. Sometimes people that you admire in life, learn the way they do things, the way they talk, the way they comport themselves and all that. It will really be of a great help to you. Quickly, I want just us to get the benefits of investing in your personality. What will you gain when you invest in yourself? It will help you to condition your mind in a positive way, because now you will not be thinking negatively, but you will be thinking positively. That will help your life. 2, it will help you never to be taken unawares, because we are living in a world where things move at a fast pace. I think I've explained this, the way the world is moving very fast, in a very fast pace. That, like I gave the example about a typewriter that is outdated. A whole lot of new things are coming, so you need to brace up yourself to follow this trend. If not, you'll be left behind and you'll still be thinking backwards. Point number 3, it prepares you for an outstanding result. Yes, everybody will have results, but not everybody will be outstanding. Yes, because you want to make a difference and you want to be different also. 4, it makes you more motivated to work on yourself to achieve more results and improvement. This is really good. Remember, I told you that I learned how to bake on the internet. Sometimes it might not turn out well, but you keep doing it, before you know it, you will improve. Because the country where I'm coming from, the baking style is a little bit, they're not really different, but the kind of confectionaries they bake where I'm coming from is different from where I am presently. But I learned, and now there's a lot of improvement and result. I'm explaining point number 4, that said it makes you more motivated to work on yourself to achieve more results and improvement. I achieve more results. I've improved myself to the point that I can teach somebody else now comfortably. And the final point here, point number 5, said it makes you relevant and essential in life. Yes, when you work on your personality, it makes you relevant and essential in life. You will always be in hard demand. You will be sorted out. Remember, when you work hard on your job, you will only get promotion. But when you work hard on yourself, you will be relevant in life. As time goes on, before you know it, you will start employing people instead of getting employed. So you really need to work on yourself. You really need to work on your personality. Don't be a mediocre person. Don't be an average person. Try to improve on yourself. Try to do something extra to be an extraordinary person, because it takes extra when you add it to ordinary that will make somebody extraordinary. Everybody around an ordinary person. So if you want an extraordinary, it takes an extra, and that extra is what I'm talking about. Working on your personality, the way you talk, the way you do things. That's the way that will make you extra. I've actually come to the end of my teaching. That's all from me today. Keep a date with me, same time, same place. I'll be right back with you next week, Wednesday, as I bring another inspiring teaching that will help you live victoriously in your everyday life. See you next week, Wednesday. Bye.